Yeah. Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what? Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
Hey guys, welcome back. So this drama is real, right? A CEO and his HR manager got caught on camera at a ColdPlay concert, and what happened next is messy. Anyways, let's watch these clips and then we'll come back and talk some more about it.
An update on the ColdPlay concert affair. This is Andy Byron, the CEO of the data company Astronomer, and Kristen Cabot, the chief people officer of the same company. Yep, they're both married, not to each other, but it gets worse. Sitting directly next to them was Alyssa Stoddard, senior director of people at Astronomer, a newer hire who just got promoted. And based on her reaction, it was obvious that this was not a spontaneous, innocent outing. One thing is clear, the entire company might have known something was up. One user even wrote, "That's gonna be one awkward board meeting, if not a couple divorces too." As for Andy's actual wife, she's moving swiftly. She's already removed his last name from her social profiles, deleted all their photos together and gone completely silent, while her comments are flooded with messages of heartbreak and support. One of the top comments reads, "SIS, lawyer up. You deserve so much better." Meanwhile, Kristen's been wiped from Astronomer's Up About Us page in what some are calling a quiet internal response to the firestorm. It's unclear if Andy will follow, but this level of viral attention may force action. What ColdPlay thought was just a cute fan cam moment has turned into a full-on HR disaster with 20M plus views, a potential divorce, and an entire tech company dragged into public scandal.
So when the big screen caught them, their reaction said it all. I mean, the man ducked and the woman turned away, and people immediately knew that something was up. And it turns out they're both married to other people and they both work in the same company. He's the CEO and she's the head of HR.
That's why y'all need to be so quick to be kikiing with the co-workers, playing them little cute ass, well, that's my work wife game. Now the married CEO and the married head of HR are having an affair and there's another employee there that knew about it. Imagine how many times those people in the offices have sat up in their spouse's face, kikiing, knowing damn well the whole time they were having an affair behind their back. That's why I don't even play them games, okay? If you want a work wife, that's going to be your divorcing me, okay? You can make your work wife your real wife because I'm out.
Well, Tide has entered the chat to let us know that even they can't clean this one up, but buckle up because it's about to get messier. The CEO just dropped his statement and we have to get into this. Here's Andy's statement, you know, the guy who dropped to his knees in shame. Of course, he's making himself the victim. He starts off by saying that he wants to acknowledge the moment that's been circulating online and the disappointment it's caused. What was supposed to be a fun night of music and joy turned into a deeply personal mistake playing out on a very public stage. He wants to sincerely apologize to his wife, his family, and the team at Astronomer. You deserve better from me as a partner, a father, and as a leader. He goes on to say that this is not who he wants to be or how he wants to represent the company that he helped build. He's taking time to reflect, taking accountability, and figure out the next steps. Personally and professionally, I ask for privacy as I navigate that process. Now, here's where he really makes himself the victim. He wants to express how troubling it is that what should have been a private moment that was in a very public place became public without his consent. Oh no. He says that he respects artists and entertainers, but he hopes that we can all think more deeply about the impact of turning someone else's life into a spectacle, as if he didn't do this to himself. That drop to his knees in shame. I mean, if he could have just played it cool, none of this probably would have happened, although it absolutely deserved to happen. And I almost forgot this last little part. He goes into quoting ColdPlay, who outed him. It was the ColdPlay singer Chris Martin who said they're either having an affair or really shy. He goes on to quote them by saying, "Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you." I'm not sure if he's talking about himself, his wife, or his mistress. This is his beautiful wife. May she get every penny that he helped make that billion-dollar company, and she has already dropped his last name off of her Facebook. She's gone back to her maiden name, and again, we wish the best for her because this is awful. And as for Kristen, head of HR at this company, what a mess. She also has a husband. People have been wondering. Yes, she has a husband who I think is an executive in sportswear or something like that. And these are some interesting quotes from Kristen. She says that she so appreciates that he can see her role as something different. She likes to classify her HR role as in the realm of people strategy, because to her, magic happens when you align people's strategy to the business and strategy sink into two. She also goes on to say that there are plenty of companies out there where a strong CEO and leadership team just doesn't see the value that a strong people leader can bring to the company. Good thing he could see her strong value to the company. And as for embarrassed woman, who she brought into this by nudging her and being like, nudge, nudge, can you believe we're getting caught right now about the affair that we all know about? It is obvious that this has been going on and that she was aware and that she's part of the company. So she's actually the senior director of people at this company. She joined the company in January of 2025, and her background includes several human resource leadership roles, which is interesting because when you look into this, they actually worked at a company together before this, and then she brought her good old buddy Alyssa over to get into her shenanigans at Astronomer. And things must have been getting real hot and heavy with them, because last week, Kristen reportedly promoted embarrassed girl Alyssa to be vice president of people. So this girl is directly reporting to the head of HR, who is having an affair with the CEO of the company. Literally, what a mess. I mean, again, head of HR, CEO of the company, other people in the HR department are very much involved in all of this. They're all out in public together doing this publicly. He's crying about how it was a private moment. And ultimately, I am never, ever going to forget that look on his face. They're just so happy. We're in love. We're so happy to be cheating on our spouses. And then the immediate getting busted and just dropping his head in shame, dropping to the floor and crawling out of there.
There's a video circulating of a CEO who got caught cheating on his wife with his head of HR because they got caught on the kiss cam at a ColdPlay concert. My first question is, does ColdPlay have any music that they need to be having the kiss cam for? Like, it's nice music, but I don't know if it's romantic. Like, is ColdPlay foreplay? Bro, was the CEO over there whispering sweet nothings like, yeah, when we get home, I'm gonna need that head of HR. We finna spread sheets. Are these corporate puns resonating? But it is ironic that it would be the head of human resources, HR, getting in trouble for this, because usually they're the ones telling you not to fraternize or be involved with coworkers, and here she is being caught up with the CEO. That'd be like if the CFO of the company got caught like embezzling money or committing fraud, or actually that actually doesn't sound that crazy. Maybe power corrupts. You know how like back in the day you'd crumple up a piece of paper and shoot it in a trash can and be like, Kobe, you think the CEO that cheated on his wife is like Ime Udoka, right? Because Ime Udoka is the Boston Celtics coach that got in trouble for sleeping with a coworker. I think that works.
Ain't the first rule of having an affair not to be in public? And y'all know social media always gonna do its thing. So everybody done flooded the wife comments. Now she done changed her name on Facebook. They all in his LinkedIn. They even saying the lady that was smiling awkwardly next to him just got promoted by that VP of HR. So that means a couple people knew about this. All jokes aside though, I think the bigger picture here is boundaries have to be set. The average person at work probably working 40 hours a week, and then as you get in higher positions, especially as the CEO, the VP of people, you working 60, 70 hours a week. So the people you're around, you're going to gain a relationship with, whether it's platonic, whether it becomes more than that, wink, wink. So if boundaries aren't set, things like this will happen. We are naturally human. You're working day after day, late hours with this person. It's not all going to be work. You're going to learn about each other socially, how people work, how they live. These relationships are going to get developed. Boundaries must be set in the workplace. Clearly that wasn't the case here, so we'll see how this all unfolds.
I'm glad you got caught cheating at the ColdPlay concert. ColdPlay is for lovers. Your wife's spirit guides and ancestors saw you swaying with your side bitch to fix you, and they were like, literally over my dead body. Literally. You see the Jumbotron and you don't even flinch? That's crazy. You were feeling a little too cocky for my liking. If I went to a Coldplay concert with a side piece, I would already start debating my argument with the Lord and St. Paul or Peter, whoever's at the pearly gates. I haven't cracked open the Bible in a few.
I would immediately start thinking, no, but yes, and no. You know, and I know. So crazy too that if you have children, they have to go to high school, college, or their place of work knowing that their father brought their side chick to the ColdPlay concert. Look at the stars. Look how they shine for you. Absolutely fucking not. Your side bitch. Lovers only at ColdPlay. Oh.
It's bad enough that you're cheating on your spouse. That's bad enough. But thinking it's okay to cheat on your spouse in front of your work staff, how do you think that plays out? How do you think that makes you look? How do you think that makes you look like anything other than a complete piece of shit? I don't know why you guys thought you could involve coworkers and say, hey, look at us. Look how cool we are. We're cheating on our spouses. What? Tell me what is going on in your head that you thought it would be all right to go to a concert and in front of your co-working staff be all canoodling and everything, and that would be okay. Hey, we work together. We're all good like that. No. Just so you know, everybody thought you, buddy, were an asshole. And you, ma'am, everybody knows you're a whore.
So people online are dragging them, saying that it's embarrassing, especially for his wife, who removed his name from her social media. Some say this affair was probably the company's worst kept secret, and now it's public for the entire world to see. Anyways, credit to all the creators featured in these videos, and thank you so much for tapping in when you saw this video. I do not take it for granted. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know, would you stay with someone after this kind of public embarrassment? Would you? Let me know. And yeah, I'll see you on my next video.
The cheating couple on the Jumbotron at the ColdPlay concert, holy shit. I can't even fathom what it's like right now to be their spouses, because not only did you find out that your significant other cheated on you, they cheated on you at a ColdPlay concert. They were wrapped up in each other's arms, right? The camera pans down, they freak out. They start hiding. They're oh my God, no one can see us. They're sitting there trying to live their best rom-com moment, singing along with the ballad. That's so fucking embarrassing. And they're grown-ass adults in their big age going to a ColdPlay concert. No. You just sat there and fucking kissed or acted like it was not a big deal. No one's going to post it. But the second that you sat there and you tried to hide from here, everyone knew you were cheating. Everyone knew. You're fucked when you go to court. When those two go to court to divorce their significant others, oh my God, that judge is going to look at them and say, what happened? At a ColdPlay concert? On a Jumbotron? Give them whatever they want. Double the child support, triple the alimony. If that were me and my husband cheated on me, he would know no peace, okay? The only time that'd be appropriate is if he was at like an Orville Peck concert or like seeing Dolly Parton. Or the Savannah Bananas. If it was at the Savannah Bananas, I'd be okay with that.
Let me get this straight. The white lady who is the head of HR astronomer is having an affair with the CEO. The head of HR is having an affair with the CEO. They thought that going to a concert was going to be a way to keep their relationship quiet. If you're the head of HR, don't you know that, like, being in a stadium full of tens of thousands of people is probably not the way to keep your relationship hidden? I don't know. I mean, you're the head of HR. Don't you have, like, critical thinking skills? Like, now this is going to shine a light on companies like that, and the public is going to have an outcry because the HR lady should be fired. The CEO should step down because now your whole business looks like a bunch of clowns. Y'all are so dumb. Like, it's so dumb. I can't believe how dumb people are. I really can't believe how dumb people are. And his wife commented on a photo under it and was like, please give our family time to work this out without talking about it. Honey, where did he tell you he was going? Did he tell you he was going to the ColdPlay concert? How come he didn't take you with him? That's right, because he wanted to be fucking the HR lady. Oh my God. The messiness. The tea. But also now, like, she gives everybody in HR a bad name.
Someone who works in corporate America, I legitimately cannot even describe to you how jealous I am of everyone that gets to go work at the office of the couple at the Coldplay concert. Like, you're telling me that the CEO and the head of HR are having an affair. My God. Like, just think about the Slack channels, like the Slack messages, like the knowing looks, the eyebrows across the office, like, how does it feel to live my dream, you know? Like, honestly, office gossip, it's normally pretty light. Like, it's normally pretty, like, nothing's going on. That's a big one. And, oh, man, like, I want to be, will they hire me just for today? I just want to be there, please.
They got him. Damn. How do y'all do this with speed and precision? But the craziest part to me is how avoidable this getting out was. It was completely in their hands, even with the big screen. I hear you asking how. I know you've been out before and a kid's been like running around or something, acting kind of crazy. And they like bump their head into something or fall over. What's the first thing that kid does every time? They look straight at their parent. They're gauging what they should do off of their reaction. And if they see mom sitting over there like, they are about to bawl. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I wanted them to get away with it, but it is just a crazy example of the truth in the fact that it's not what happens to you, it's how you react. Because had they just stood there when the camera came on them like they were supposed to be there, the announcer wouldn't have correctly deduced that there was an affair happening. These reactions wouldn't have taken place and the whole event would have been pretty much contained just to that event. But now they got everything. They are on his LinkedIn cutting up. Look at this. And his alleged wife has removed his alleged last name from her alleged Facebook profile. Damn. ColdPlay themselves addressed the situation, announcing to the world that now their audience sections will be camera-free so you can have your side pieces in peace. Their reaction was the most affair-having behavior I've ever seen in my life. They literally look like extras on a movie set told to behave like people having an affair in an audience. So what did we learn? Well, don't cheat, duh. That it's not just what happens to you, it's how you react. The combination of those two things is what dictates what happens next. How will this affect LeBron's legacy?
I don't like to be inside white people business that much, but getting caught on a Jumbotron at a Coldplay concert is a sentence I don't think that I would have said before today. Icarus, y'all flew a little bit goddamn too close to that goddamn sun. My thing is, if you are married and you want to have an affair or you want to step out on your marriage, this, that, and the third, just get a divorce. And I know white people, when they get a divorce or they talk about getting a divorce, they like to chop, stab, and all that stuff. But please, now y'all have millions of eyes on your relationship behind a fuck up that could have been prevented if you would have just got a fucking divorce. And also to the employee that was kikiing right next to that couple that works with them and knew about the affair, your days are fucking numbered, bitch. They're numbered.
Oh, are you finally ready to have this conversation about corporate America? Because I've been screaming this from the rooftops for years now. The hypocrisy that this exudes, I would like to say is shocking, but it actually just tracks for my entire 10 plus year experience working in not only corporate America, but tech, which is just an even worse bubble. The hypocrisy is unmatched. This is common. This isn't unusual. This is normal. I've had direct experience with this. I've been an executive assistant for 10 plus years, and we see and know everything at all times. And this is par for the course. This happens all the time, every single day. But you know what the worst part is? Not only the fact that she's the head of HR, which, by the way, she probably makes upwards of 500, I don't know the company, I would say 300,000 to 500,000, if not more, a year. And this woman definitely helped fire people who did the exact same thing that she is doing. These people are not smarter than you. They are not more educated than you. They are just more well-connected than you. And they've somehow, some way, by pure sense of power, privilege, and luck, landed in these positions, but they are not good people, they are not necessarily smart people, and they are for sure not moral people. So before you tell yourself that you're not good enough to be on a C-suite of anything, I want you to remember that most of the C-suite that I've worked with are complete and utter trash. And not all. I've worked as an executive assistant. I've had a couple bosses that I've liked. But for the majority, they are messy, they are immature, they lack humility, and they are power hungry and wealthy, and that's about it. So wake up, America. Let's do better.